Welcome back to my channel, and today we'll be talking about the show My Wife and Kids. And honestly, this is personally one of my favorite sitcoms to just sit down and watch, and I just really enjoyed the show. So number one, we're going to talk about the ending. The ending was actually on a cliffhanger. The ending was actually on a cliffhanger. I don't know why I can't pronounce it properly, but it was on a cliffhanger. What ends up happening is that Jade and Michael basically end up like seeing a newspaper, and they both decide that they no longer want any kids because at that point they have three kids of their own and all that stuff. And they have one little kid, and then they have like one teenager and one adult. And they have like those three kids, and they decide they don't want any more kids and all that stuff. And then after that, they kind of decide on what they want to do. Jay wants Michael to get a vasectomy, and she like has to beg him into doing it, and then all that stuff. And then she basically finds that he lied to her about the vasectomy and all that stuff. And then after that, she ends up having to like book an appointment to get her tube tied. But I feel like people don't actually realize this is that once you get your tube tied, it's over for you. It's not reversible. However, with a vasectomy is easier, quicker, and cheaper, and it is reversible. So that's the difference, and that's why it would just be better for the man to get the vasectomy than for her to get her tubes tied. So that's in comparison on why. After that, they go to the doctor's office, and at that point, he kind of just realizes that he doesn't want to her to go through to get her tubes tied, and he offers to basically get a vasectomy. And then after that, she basically reveals that she's pregnant, so there's no need for a vasectomy. And the whole thing of the vasectomy is not vasectomy, the whole pregnancy thing has just happened already. Well, apparently, the reason why they never had a season six was because the writer felt like it was already wrapped up and everything. But I feel like that would have been a very good opening for season six, and season six should have been its final season because, to be honest, that is a pretty big thing and a pretty big cliffhanger to do to a show like that and a sitcom like that. So just ending out of nowhere, at least to me, made no sense. It was a good cliffhanger, and I felt like it did deserve a season six as its final season, and they could have deep dove into the characters more and into the more plot lines because at this point they are like older now, and they have to decide on what they would do for the child that they have coming in. So season six would have like went on to that. Now, as we go into the show and everything, we'll talk about the characters. I will say that rating characters was that oof. So I would say that not Tony's. Okay, we'll talk about Tony's character. Tony's character was an okay character. I actually found him to be annoying, and I just thought he was like really annoying, and I felt like he was just like one of those Bible thumpers, and I just really hated him because he was just so annoying and he was just so soft. It was just made my head hurt whenever he was just on the screen. I just did not care for him. And then there was what's her character, Claire. People have this debate about the first Claire versus the second Claire, which Claire was better and stuff like that. I honestly felt like the first Claire would have been good for dark skin representation for black women and girls, but at the same time, I just felt like her personality didn't click with the rest of the cast, and she didn't have as good chemistry as the other characters do. And I felt like the second Claire was better because she had more chemistry, and you could see her actually being related to the people that were on the show. Like, chemistry wise and character wise, you could see it. But the first character, not really, to be honest, which is sad because she would have been such good representation for dark skinned girls had there been better chemistry and had their character just been written better. And it would have been awesome because it should have been like a way that you could actually see her being in that family. But with that show, you could never really see the first Claire being that character and that daughter in the show at all. But the second Claire, you could see it because she has more chemistry with the cast, and it actually feels natural that she would be, you know, the daughter in that show. Then you have Franklin. I actually didn't have a problem with Franklin. I thought he was actually pretty cool, but he was also annoying at the same time. So I just say he was okay. And then there was Katie. I thought she was okay. Didn't really care for her. She was just, she was okay. And then there was Michael. Michael was actually a good father and actually a good husband. So there's that. And as a person, I thought he was cool. I thought he was okay. And then there was Jade. I actually like Jade's character. I felt like she was a little wild at times, but at the same time, you kind of like get why she was the way she was. She wasn't my favorite character, but she was a little annoying at times. Oh no, she was not annoying. I don't know why I was saying that. Sorry. I didn't actually find her character annoying, but it was just like a lot of people in the comment section, they would always talk about how annoying she was and all that stuff. But I personally never found her character to be annoying. I found her character to be a little loud at times and stuff, but at the same time, I feel like she was loud because she wanted her like character to be like shown and stuff like that, and that was just how she was. She was very outspoken and she wanted to share her opinion. So honestly, I would say that even though she wasn't one of my favorite characters, I didn't have a thing where I didn't like a character. I would just say that the mom on the show, Jade, I didn't mind her character, honestly. I didn't mind her. She wasn't my favorite. She wasn't a character that I disliked. She was just a character that I didn't mind. And honestly, when it came down to her character, I actually like understood her character and I understood the ways that she felt. So that was another thing that I really did like, especially when it came down to stuff like about like women and girls and how women and girls feel during their teenage years and stuff like that. And she talked about it. I understood it. I felt it, and I related to it, and I really liked that. And I just felt like she was actually a really good wife, and I felt like she was a really good mother. And I actually, looking back at it, I really enjoyed that. To that is that she wasn't my favorite character, but she wasn't a hated character. She was just a character you would watch, and she was actually really funny too. And but honestly, like I said, I don't hate her character. I don't love her character, but at the same time, I don't know how to explain it. I just felt like she was an okay character, but at the same time, I don't want to say she was an okay character because that would kind of diminish her as a character. But she was like one of those characters that I would watch on TV. That's how I'll put it. And then after that is the Junior's character actually did a lot of character development, and after he became like a father, even after he became like a father, he finally like learned how to like man up and stuff like that, which was good, and actually became a good father. But I feel like the sad part was not sad, but I just felt like the reason why he manned up so much was because like his father talked him into fatherhood and all that stuff, even though he really was like, oh, I don't want to be a father and stuff like that. And then his father had to sit him down and talk to him, which is pretty sad because like, why would you go through all those lengths to do that to the poor girl and then decide that you don't want this fatherhood? And it's like, if you don't want fatherhood and all that stuff, you should make sure that you're using contraceptives and all that stuff to present that stuff. You shouldn't just like go raw and then expect life to be dandy and rose. I'm very happy that Michael talked to him about that and told him about fatherhood and all that stuff. Um, and then after that, so yeah, he did have kind of character development. So I won't lie about that. But how his character development was like written and stuff like that, I felt like it was realistic, but at the same time, it shouldn't have to be someone having to tell you how fatherhood works. But at the same time, he needed guidance because he was dumb and he was idiot. But at least he did get better, and at least he became a good father. But I just felt like they should have given him the talk about fatherhood sooner. rather than later. And then after that comes in what's her character's name? I don't remember, the sister Claire. And then there's Claire. She actually did have a lot of character development. She went from being a girl who was very ditzy and who was very dumb to being a girl who, like, you didn't really laugh at as much, and you actually started to take her seriously, and you could see her mature into like a very young, proper young lady, in which I really did like about her character, because when she was really ditzy and she was really dumb, it just really annoyed me, and I was just happy that they didn't leave her that way and that it actually gave her a proper writing as of a character. And then there is Junior's like baby mother. Well, not baby mother. I don't know why I keep saying that. Junior's wife. I actually did not have a problem with her character, and I really liked her, and I thought that she was cool. I won't lie about that. I actually really enjoyed watching Junior's wife's character. Thought she was actually pretty cool. I do apologize for calling her baby mother. She's a wife, and I just actually really liked her character. I thought she was cool, and I thought she was nice, and I just like watching her because she was just down to earth. And I felt like she was better than watching Megan Good on the show. It's not that I did not like Megan Good's character. I really didn't care for Megan Good at the time of the character of the show, because like it just felt too Hollywood to me. I just felt like they needed a fresh face, and I'm glad that she like replaced her and stuff like that. But at the same time, Megan Good was probably getting bigger projects, so it doesn't really matter. And then after that came Calvin, uh, his wife's parents. I actually liked the mother, but the father was something else. He was just way too entitled and way too demanding and just way too annoying. You know, it was like every time I saw him on the screen, it was like them having a fourth child who was like big and grown. It was just something else. To end this video, I would honestly say was that it deserved the season 6, and I felt like a season 6 would have been a good final season for them. It could have tied everything up and would have delivered good plot lines and good jokes, and probably would have been the most emotional season that they would have had. Comment, like, and subscribe.